Hello my little doodle borbs, I'm signing in as Sal and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new around town, take a flight with me among the city tops. It's a killer view. So, Beelzebub, or B. Her design has gotten a lot of backlash since her release episode in HELLUVA BOSS, which if you haven't seen the show, what are you doing here? How did you get in my house? Ah! Anyway, I'm going to be redesigning her and going over my stupid little questions because I'm a stupid little guy on the internet and no one cares about me. Cool, let's get started. One critique of her design is that she's not fat for the sin of gluttony. I personally think that's completely fine. Making her character chubby would just add to the destructive narrative that chubby people just lay around all day eating and doing nothing. There's a video by Cartoon Universe or Deep Cut going over Mammon embodying all of the sins a little bit, which I think is good. B is the sin of gluttony, as I just mentioned, which means to overindulge. This is thought of to be about food, but that's not necessarily the case. Overindulgence is defined as the action or fact of having too much of something enjoyable. So, no, not food specifically. B is meant to show the overindulgence of partying specifically with the amount of big parties she throws. It makes more sense for her design to be skinny for more than just being body positive. Her partying so much and likely doing a lot of performances would probably lead to her burning a lot of calories, and on top of this, the rings of hell are set up like circus acts, with Lucifer being the ringleader and the others being his acts. So far, Asmodeus has been meant to be a magician theme. B is a animal tamer and trapeze acts, I think. And Mammon is meant to be a clown or jester. That's all of the sins that have been revealed so far, but there's a theory that Satan will be meant to be a strongman act. Mammon has been theorized to encompass all of the 7 deadly sins, which makes sense, and I personally think he's meant to represent all of the negativity and toxicity that comes with having these sins, while the other princes and princesses of hell, maybe there will be a Prince X, I don't know, but I'm kind of hoping for it, seem to be actually getting along with people and being fairly reasonable for people in such high amounts of power. So instead of B being this disgusting slob, she's just a party girl who wants everyone to have a good time with her, and it will harsh her vibe, so to speak, if it doesn't. Another critique is that her design is too busy, which is completely subjective. I mean, with the amount of details in Genshin Impact characters being so insane sometimes, but I mean, I don't see people complaining about that. Do I think that her design could have done without the amount of face details? Yes. But does it take away from the episode or the scenes? I don't personally think so. Finally, what about the animators? What about them? I'd like to think that if they had a problem with the amount of time-consuming details, that they'd voice that. Plus, this episode was delayed for how long? If they felt rushed and the quality of the animation suffered, they could easily ask Vivian Medrano, who is the creator of HELLUVA BOSS and Has-Been Hotel, if they could take advantage of the delay and make the animation better, which Vivian would be kind of stupid to not do that. It would make the final product look better, and it would make the animators feel more confident about their work. Hell, maybe they went so hard on the details because of all the extra time. I know I'd probably die trying to animate B, but I've barely scratched the surface of animating, so I am very much so a beginner. So that's why I would have a problem with it. Now, here's where we get into my problem with the design. B from the neck down is literally just Pastel Luna. Change my mind. Listen, crop top, shorts that are a little ripped, long thigh-high socks, and the fingerless gloves. I personally think they could have done a little better separating the two. I didn't realize it at first because of Luna's dress, but I thought about it a little more and looked at the design side by side, and yeah, way too close in my opinion. but that's just my personal opinion. So I decided to give her a short, tight dress because I feel like that's kind of a staple for the party girl vibe. I also really wanted to give her heart-shaped glasses because it felt very fitting to me, and to make her design have more of a bee theme, I decided to keep the stripes on her ears and just make them black. Other than that, I decided to give her little fur spikes on the back of her legs to simulate bee legs. As you can see, I got rid of the thigh highs and fingerless gloves, so that left the question of where her white fur would start and end. Being completely honest, I barely realized she had white fur until I was redesigning her. So to make her fur more noticeable, I made the yellow more of an orangey hue and a little darker. One tip that I got from YouTuber Lavender Town is to put your art under grayscale to make sure the colors are nice and dynamic, so that's what I did periodically. For the white fur, I decided to stick with the dripping look the original thigh highs and fingerless gloves was going for. I also couldn't decide between leaving the honey hair as is or changing it to a ponytail style. So you guys can decide in the comments what you think. And with that, here's my redesign of Bee. Alright, my little doodle borbs, that's all for today's video. Make sure you get some sleep. I know you're watching this at 3 in the morning. Signing off as Sel. Thank you so much for playing in my sketchbook today, and I'll see you on the next page. Bye!